Right, good afternoon everyone. I'm hand holding, I haven't got my gimbal. Right, mosquitoes. A subscriber asked me about, Paul, what about mosquitoes? Do you get bit? When I first came here 2019, 2018, wow, I got bit that many times, my legs. My legs were always swollen with mosquito bites. And the mosquito sent me absolutely crazy. So, I was going to go back to England. I just got bit that many times. And I were here for 2 months. That was my second time here in the Philippines. I just got bit that many times. It actually sent me crazy. And I wanted to go back to England. And, I thought, I'm never going to come back to the Philippines ever again. I just got bit that much. And, wow, a mosquito bite, depending who you are, I suppose, it blows up and you scratch it and then it like becomes, so it's really bad. It comes in, it can become infected. So mosquitoes here in the Philippines, wow, very, very, very dangerous. And I couldn't suss it out. I thought, how do I stop these damn mosquitoes? Well, when I was first here, we used to go from Twin Rivers. So out in the countryside, or in Twin Rivers, and it were Twin Rivers is a resort. And just before you cross the big bridge, that's the Twin Rivers on the right hand side, if you know Twin Rivers. So mosquitoes drove me absolutely crazy. I'm not joking. And what did I do to combat it? I think I was here 6 weeks. And like I said, it was sending me absolutely mad mosquitoes. So what I actually did, let me just put my stick. So what I actually did, I said to Jovelyn, I'm going to go back to England. These mosquitoes are driving me absolutely crazy. Is there anything we can do? I tried everything. I put garlic on my legs. I put onion on my legs. I tried everything. And I went to the chemist and we got this mosquito repellent from chemist. It didn't work. And then we went back, we went to SM and we got something similar. And the chemists were actually, let me just look, they're a big problem, fire ants. So what happened was I went to the chemist in Mercia. I thought so, let's have a look. Yeah, just a moment, I've got fire ants biting me damn feet. So, that's another problem, fire ants. Let me just check. Wow, they really kill fire ants, I'm not joking. They really pack a big. They're nasty. They are nasty, fire ants. Right, so I went to chemist in SM. And I said, have you got anything for mosquito bites? And she gave me exactly the same thing. We're buying Mercy, and I went, it doesn't work. There was nothing here in the Philippines what were actually any good, because I tried all the medication, all the creams, nothing actually worked against these mosquitoes. Now, don't forget, the Philippines is very, very polluted, and mosquitoes love dirt, they love filth, and that's where they lay their eggs, in dirty water, right? So they just love that. And I used to get showered 2 or 3 times a day, and that were it. I actually found out, and Jovelyn said, you're going to have to scrub your legs. I said, well, I do scrub my legs. Well, obviously I wasn't. So what I did, like I said, I've been bitten now about 5 or 6 times with fire ants. And they're same as a mosquito. They're not as bad, but they pack a big bite. They're a bit worse actually. It's a lot more painful, but I think I'm just that used to, I'm that used to getting bit. I must get bit 300 or 400 times a day sometimes. So, right, so what I did was I got this cloth, a sponge, put soap on it, and I'm not joking, I actually scrubbed, and I mean scrubbed. Like you'd actually scrub a damn floor. And I was surprised, you know. I was getting, like I said, I was getting showered 3 times a day. And I didn't think I'd got any muck on me whatsoever. When I started to scrub, the amount of dirt what actually come off, it was brown. You know, I thought I'd got a suntan on my legs. I didn't have a suntan, it was just muck and it was dirt. And it was like baked in. It was like baked into my skin. And that's with the pollution in Bacolod City. It's just the pollution in the cities. And, you know, well, mosquitoes love that. They love filth and dirty legs. And as soon as I actually started to scrub my legs, I only got 1 or 2 mosquito bites. Instead of, you know, 50 or 60. And I'm not joking. I were in that much pain with mosquitoes. I was going back to England, no joke. So that were mosquitoes. I really scrubbed my skin. Now, I sometimes get bit once or twice, you know, maybe 3 or 4 times a week. It's no big deal. And I don't get bit like I used to get bit. So, but I were in the plaza, and this was last week, and I'm sat there in the plaza. There's 2 mosquitoes here. It's Dengue. I think it's called Dengue. Now, I saw one of these Dengue mosquitoes and it landed on my hand. And I got my phone and I just looked. I thought it's a mosquito bump. And it was one of the dangerous ones. And, you know, I actually chatted to a friend of mine online, a girlfriend, you know, and she actually worked in Dubai and she'd had Dengue 3 times. And she said what it feels like is, because I chatted to her about these mosquitoes, you know, years back, and she told me she had Dengue. And what she said to me was, she was okay after 3 or 4 days, and she'd got to have medication. But as far as I know, mosquitoes can actually kill. And if you're a foreigner first coming to the Philippines, and you get a shower, you wash your legs, it's not going to do it. You need to scrub your legs. Mosquitoes don't like clean skin. And that's how I defeated the mosquito. So, you know, and I couldn't understand. I thought, they never bit Joveline. And what Joveline said was, it's probably because you've got white skin. It's fresh meat. So basically, that were the damn mosquitoes. So, yes. The mosquitoes, really big problem. And, you know, if you're near stagnant water, they like to lay their eggs in stagnant water, dirty water. So, but, you know, mosquitoes, no, I don't get bit so much now with mosquitoes. So, only thing I can actually think is, because I'm clean, my phone's playing up again. So I'll do that take again. So that's the only thing I can actually think. You know, I don't get bit with mosquitoes so much. You know, because of that, guys. Just keep as clean as possible. Listen, cleaning, how you normally clean it, just won't do it. I'm not joking, you need to really scrub and you need to be clean. Once your skin is very... And a lot of you will go, well, I am clean. Well, I thought I was clean till I actually got and I scrubbed. And then I knew. And I felt a lot fresher and a lot better after I've really scrubbed my skin. And no big problem really after that. But I was actually going to go back to England. I thought, wow, this is driving me absolutely mental. And, you know, they are quite dangerous, a lot of the mosquitoes. But I've been bit thousands of times, even the dangerous ones. Even the dangerous ones here, I've been bit by them. And as far as I know, I've never had dengue. I've never had any, you know, I've never had anything wrong with me. Whether they can give a blood disease or what, you know, like some people say they can, I honestly don't know. I know they can be quite dangerous. So they are little blighters. And yeah, quite dangerous, I should think. Mosquitoes here in the Philippines. Oh, and I want to actually chat about a comment. So I hope that answers your question. Paul, how do you cope with mosquitoes? Have you been bit by mosquitoes? You bet your ass. I've been bit millions of times with mosquitoes. But not so much now. Just not so much now. Write a comment, I'll actually chat. Because I'm hand holding, I'll try and make it short. A little comment, and you know, when it comments, I think they're going about immigration. Another little man, you know, another little boy, little man comment. And what he said was, basically, do I eat scraps? And etc. Look, I can survive anywhere. I can eat scraps and I can eat you for dinner. No problem, pal. So, you know, like I said, I do leave your comments on there now because I actually think they're so damn funny. So, you know, I'll actually show you mosquitoes. They can bite in different ways, can't they? So I'll actually show you what mosquitoes actually like. And you've always got a mosquito and a bug on you. In fact, I tell you, we're in house and it were about 2 o'clock in the morning a couple of days ago. And there were a big, what they call them now, cockroach. And I know how dangerous cockroaches are, so I thought, I'm going to kill this cockroach. So I chased this cockroach and I was trying to hit it with my slipper. And it went under the basket. And then I creeped over to the basket and I moved basket and it run. So it run across floor and Joveline was sat on the floor and she was charging her phone up. And as soon as she saw this cockroach, she started to scream and she moved. And as soon as she moved, what was she sat on? I don't know how it had got there. It must have crawled across floor. She was sat on one of them. They are really dangerous as well. Trying to think the name of them. Really dangerous. And I've been bit by one, and I tell you what it feels like. I only got bit a little, and she only sat there under a fat ass. That was there, and it was one of them centipedes. They're really, really dangerous, and they can kill you. You know, they have killed people actually in the Philippines. I don't know how many people, but they're really, really dangerous. She jumped up and started screaming. She says, "Kill it, kill it. It's one of them dangerous centipedes." So I battered it about 10 times and it was still going, and all its legs fell off and it looked like it had got a lot of hairs and they all fell off. And I swept it up and I threw it out at window and it was still going. Even though I thought I'd killed it about 10 times, it was still going. So it was quite very, very tough. So there's quite a lot of, well, you've got Philippines, a lot of poisonous snakes. You don't think the snakes are here, but they're here. If you don't see them, don't think they're not here. They're here, and there's quite a lot of them. So you have to be a little bit careful. So, you know, that centipede are actually moving some rubble in an house we rented in Mercia, and I'm pulling bricks out, and I felt bump. Wow, it was like a big electric shock. Then I saw it, centipede, and that centipede, it was scurrying away, and I thought, wow, and it only just got me. So if it had got me good style, it felt like an electric shock, and it felt like my hand had just been blown off, so to speak. So, a lot of critters here in the Philippines. So basically, guys, you know, fire ants, mosquitoes, dangerous centipedes, you've got it. You just have to be a little bit careful. Simple as that. Right, guys, so you see that carabao there? There's a carabao there, and it's in dirty water. That's where mosquitoes like to lay their eggs, and their eggs are called fry. And they actually do collect the eggs and they do collect the larvae to feed to the fish. So any dirty water, a lot dirtier than this, that's where you get mosquitoes nesting and laying their eggs. So that's it. Mosquitoes. Yeah, they're a really big pest. You know, really dangerous big pest. Now, I'll chat about immigration soon. You know, I said to Joveline, I ought to be going back to England. You know, I ought to be trying to get back. And I've seen what's happening to my country, and that's really doing my head in. All bad things that are happening, all these damn immigrants and Muslim rule, what's trying to happen in England, that is really, you know, I had to come off, hello, there you look. I had to come off Facebook and I had to come off YouTube. It was doing me head in, I'm not joking. Where are you going there? Oh, that's one of the dogs. She's off. The other one's here, look. Like an horse, like two race horses. Always running around. What are you doing there? That's where they like to lay. Probably out at way at fire ants. She's laying there. She's not saying anything. Look at the nails. This is the other one. When she's waggling her tail, I'm sure she thinks there's some food. And looks like Joveline's preparing some food, and that's what she's doing, look. Getting excited. So I'm back at the house, but like I said, you know, Joveline's got her own YouTube channel. I'll put it in the description. You can check it out if you like. You can subscribe. You know, it helps Joveline. And like I said, I'll be, you know, one day, I'm sure I won't be here very, very soon. And I'm sure I'll have actually gone into Bacolod. And hopefully they can lock me up and then begin the process. But like I said, it'd be okay. It'd be nice if you can actually subscribe to Joveline's channel. It would be very much appreciated. She's knocking on up to 900 now. Maybe a little bit more, I'm not sure, to be honest. So, very much appreciated. Watch those mosquitoes. There's two what's really nasty. And I'm sure they can kill you. Depends whether you're really allergic or not to mosquitoes. So if you're really allergic to mosquitoes, they'll, you know, that's it. You've had it, so to speak, and you will suffer. But I don't think, I think, you know, probably a lot of guys that are living here now in the Philippines, they're probably that used to being bitten. It don't really bother you. And it doesn't bother me like it used to. I honestly think I've built an immunity up to mosquitoes because I've been here a long time and 3 times in the Philippines. Like them damn fire ants, they shoot acid into you and they're tiny, but wow, see, they're very tiny, but you know, them fire ants, wow. I think I've actually built an immunity. It's like a snake. If it kept biting you, it'll either kill you or cure you. In other words, I think you would actually build an immunity. Your body, your antibodies would fight it and you'd be immune to it, so to speak. So I think that's what's happened with me with mosquitoes. And snakes, I don't know about snakes. I don't think I'm immune to snakes, that's for sure. Have a great day, take care, God bless. Hopefully tomorrow we can actually go to Mercia. So please like, please subscribe, please share the videos, please help supporting the way of $1, and have a beautiful day. Watch those mosquitoes. It's more fun in the Philippines.